Welcome to our agriculture Q&A. I've got Meg with me today, who's one of our agriculture lecturers, and I'll hand things over to her in a second to introduce herself. If you have any questions at all, please pop them in the in the Q&A box, and we'll try and get round to all of them this morning.
Oh, is it for me?
Yeah, handing over to Meg.
Well, welcome to the best course at Brooksby. I know I will get told off one day for saying that to the wrong person. My name is Meg, and I'm one of the agricultural lecturers here at Brooksby Melton College. Just a little bit about myself. So I come I don't really come from a farming background as such, but fell in love with agriculture at quite a young age, growing up around the farms. My sort of specialism, so what I sort of teach mainly, is livestock. So all of the production, sort of diseases, through to sort of like cuts of meats and things like that. That's my specialisms. So you'll see me teaching those. I also teach sort of the work experience to get you employer ready, employability skills up, and really sort of I'm so passionate about agriculture, so really proud to teach it at Brooksby Melton College. Have we got questions starting to come through, or do you want me to talk about the college and the facilities we've got?
Yeah, so if we can kick it off with talking about the facilities and the farm and our animals, and then hopefully some questions. Oh, actually, someone has asked what facilities do you have, so there you go.
Oh, amazing. Thank you very much, whoever that is. So the facilities at Brooksby, well, if we just briefly talk about the history, agriculture courses at Brooksby are sort of famous. They've been going on for years. If you go to a market, almost anywhere in the country, I guarantee you're going to meet someone who studied at Brooksby, whether it was one of the ladies at the market who did the farm secretary course years ago, or just your farmers yourselves. That is testimony enough that, you know, studying agriculture at Brooksby gives you a career for life, and being in agriculture. The facilities then, so they've been there as long as the history of the students. We've got an 850-acre farm. In terms of the livestock, we have a pedigree herd of Herefords, and we also have a small pedigree herd of Shorthorns. We show both of those breeds at fat stock shows and county shows, COVID allowing. And then turning on to the sheep as well, we have a 150 head of North Country mules that we put to commercial breeds of sheep. So at the moment we've got a beautiful Suffolk tup, and we've got some really stonking Texel tups as well. So the students are very hands-on the terms of the practicals that we do in looking after the livestock. You will see on social media that we took delivery of a brand new fleet of tractors the other day as well. There's some gorgeous photos on the way, no doubt, to fill your news feeds soon. So we've got the tractors there as well for the practical elements of that, and really we're knitted into the countryside where we are. And that's out on the farm. And then once we get into the classrooms, so we've got state-of-the-art classrooms. We've got on the bottom side of Jutland, if you have any virtual tours, or we'll get some pictures up of the Jutland building. Downstairs, we've got workshop-like classrooms. So we've got big roller doors where we can roll a tractor into the classroom, and then sort of work relating to that. And then we've got a big common area, where hopefully when we can socialise a lot better and a lot more, it's where all the social stuff sort of kicks off, which is the heart of the building. And then we go up the stairs into Jutland, and we've got some lovely classrooms set up for agriculture, and some obviously computer rooms and things like that we all need for when we are doing our studies and research projects and things. So yeah, what questions have we got coming through?
We've got quite a few. Someone's asked, do you have to be a farmer or live on a farm to do agriculture?
No. And please, you know, I say please don't be, but no, please do be. But no, you do not need to be a farmer or from a farming background to study agriculture. Agriculture needs people people that aren't from those farming backgrounds to come in, those open eyes, those people that ask those questions, why, as opposed to we've always done it like that, but why do we do it like that? So from not being from a farming background gives you really good footings to come on in and learn with us. And obviously in that environment where we can accept, yeah, don't worry, you don't need to know because you're going to learn it with us here. Students from a farming background, again, you guys have got your part in the classroom by sort of referencing what you've done at home or what you've experienced before. So together, having that mix of farming backgrounds and non-farming backgrounds makes a really healthy a classroom environment for learning, because you're pinging questions back and forth and explaining things more. So it's nice to have that mix. So if you're not from a farming background, do not be fearful of agriculture. Come on in, join us. All you need is a pair of wellies, really, and an open mind, and a have a go attitude, and you will be fine in the industry. And there is, again, banging on about how amazing agriculture is. There are so many places that can take you. So just because you studied agriculture does not mean you have to be a farmer. You could be an agronomist, you can be a nutritionalist, you can be into sort of your data, you're researching, there's so many places that agriculture can take you. And the courses that we provide at Brooksby give you those transferable skills to home in on what you're finding as your natural interest. So much to talk about with ag. Go on, what questions have we got?
Lovely. So bear with me 1 second. So someone said that they're looking to do agriculture and or countryside management. In terms of agriculture, they would like to do crops, as animals are difficult due to fur. I imagine that's something to do with maybe allergies. So do we have like a crop element, or can they specialize in that?
Well, yeah, no, let me if I explain the modules that we teach, you'll see that, I know you're speaking to the livestock lecturer later today, you'll see that there are other modules that we do. So on the level 2 course, we do business, estate skills, work experience, livestock, machinery, and plant husbandry. So you've got a real sort of mix there of all the different smaller elements of agriculture. If you really know your GCSEs and you jump to level 3, we have got machinery, managing ag environments, soil and plant science, work experience, estate skills, and working responsibilities. So sort of really looking at the health and safety that goes with ag. By no means is it a safe industry, so we do need to be aware of that, and that module does teach that. So as you can see from the modules that I've listed on the first year level 3 and the level 2 course, it isn't just solely animals, livestock. It is a mix of everything, and that's what makes ag, again, so great. You've got your touch of business in there, you've got your touch of machinery, you're looking at livestock a bit, you're getting your understandings of plant and soil science. So again, you're getting those footings that we're going to push you on to what you want to be and what you want to specialise in.
Fantastic, thank you. Someone has said, is it true that 100% of agriculture students successfully go on to get employed in the industry? And maybe we could talk about the careers that they go into as well, like different areas.
I don't know 100%, because like people's lives take different paths. I would proudly say a strong percentage of people find employment within the industry. So and stick at it. Agriculture or farming, there is that saying, it's a way of life, and that's whether you're doing livestock or crop, because I mean, some of the sprayer operators that we've got locally, they're out at 3 o'clock in the morning when the conditions are right. So you are in it and you are living it. So I think that's why people tend to study agriculture and then stay in the industry for so long, for lifetimes. I mean, got 80, 90-year-old farmers still pottering around at the livestock markets, still producing stock. With regards to employability, agriculture is probably one of the most diverse industries that you can go into. There are so many little pots. So if you think, well, actually I've got quite good admin skills, I'm quite organized, well, yeah, we need that. You've got your bookkeeping and things like that. What about marketing and media? Yeah, well, we've got to sell our products, so there we've got that going in. And then you've got your men on the ground, your sprayer operators, your machinery men, your contractors, your livestock farmers. You've got that level as well. well, where you're hands-on, you're in, and you're doing that sort of physical labour, and then you can move on into sort of the more like research tasks and finding out the best thing. The other thing about agriculture that makes it amazing is it's all over the world. Everybody needs to eat, so everybody needs a farmer, and therefore the travel possibilities that you can go into are massive. You know, we've got currently, I know of ex-students that are in New Zealand, some have settled home in Canada, we've got Australia as well, sort of getting ready to go over there this, well, hopefully this year, all being well. So yeah, it's not just, I say, it's not just a career, it is a way of life, but it is the most rewarding and fulfilling way of life that I personally believe that you can choose. So if you, again, I know I've pushed onto why ag's so much better than countryside management. If you're interested in that side of it and the environmental factors, countryside will support you, but you will cover that module in managing ag environments on the agriculture course, as well as understanding all the sort of structure that goes underneath it. So yeah, amazing questions though, thank you.
Fantastic. We did have one, I can't find it now, but someone asked if they're not from an ag background or have experience in agriculture, will that put them at a disadvantage compared to other students who are starting the course?
No, not at all, not at all. In some respects, you'll get there and you sort of look at the class and the farmers' sons and daughters that are there, and you think, oh, but once you start we start in the lessons. We often, with you guys, we'll be teaching you, but with the farmers' sons and daughters, sometimes you're breaking it down and explaining why. So if mum and dad have always done it like that, a student will just assume that that's how you do it. But then in teaching, you guys as non-farming background, you've got the question as why are we doing that? So non-farming backgrounds are as important and are at no disadvantage studying agriculture at Brooksby than the students from a farming background. Okay, and marrying you guys together, and sometimes there have been marriages from Brooksby as well, but marrying you guys together makes for a really sort of diverse learning environment and the good questions that sort of fly around the classroom back and forth. So having non-farming backgrounds to me is as important, if not more important, than having those farming backgrounds, because you guys are new into the industry with new sets of eyes and new sets of questions. So yeah, more the merrier on agriculture, definitely.
Lovely, thank you. Question quickly about the modules. So someone's asked, can they be chosen? So I assume that means are some mandatory and are some sort of chosen modules, or are they all mandatory?
We choose the modules for you guys. So we've sort of looked at the awarding bodies and the qualifications they provide and the modules there, and we've picked the ones that suit the farm that we've got. So we'll do a livestock module because we've got that livestock there and you can experience it. If we were to pick vegetables, for example, we don't grow many vegetables at college. You wouldn't necessarily get the full practical experience that you require to be able to sort of be successful within that. But saying that, you still will learn your soil sciences and your plant sciences, so you still understand those sorts of things, but you're not seeing it day to day. With regards to the modules as well, we've got, so they're all mandatory, they are fixed on the full-time courses, but they are also assessed in many different ways. So we do sort of practical observation. So I would sort of assess, have you got an understanding of what you're doing? Do you know it? Can you prove it? And can you take that into employment? And if somebody asks you to do it, can you do it competently? So I'd assess you on that. We do presentations as well. We do assessments, assignments. You know, sometimes we'll do it as a group poster, we'll do it as a discussion. We structure those sorts of things in, so we can assess you in many different ways. There are, on the level 3, there are 2 modules that are assessed through exam conditions. So they are plant and soil science and the working responsibilities modules. But please don't be put off by that. The support that the staff give you and the experience that we've got, and as well as you're studying yourselves and doing your revision, will set you up for those exams, and you will be fine in them. So don't be fearful of that or be put off by it. You are literally assessed in every single way possible with a vocational course, so it's really open and you can achieve to the ability that you need to.
Yeah, definitely. So that's kind of what makes it stand out from maybe doing your A levels or staying at school. So much more practical learning, if that's a better way for you to learn. Just looking at some more questions. Someone has said, what are the typical timings slash hours of the day? I guess maybe like what will a typical day be for an agriculture student?
Oh, a typical day for an ag student. What? Okay, so if I put my badge on, I put my lanyard on, and I get to college, your typical day, if I talk academics first of all, it's probably on the level 2, it's a 50-50 split from putting your overalls on or grabbing a pen and running into a classroom. So you've got your typical day in terms of going into your classroom and you're learning it, or you're out on the farm and you're putting that learning into practice or that theory into practice. In terms, if I was sort of maybe to slip my lanyard to the side, the typical day of an ag student is full of laughter, friendship, community, legendary stories, trying not to get caught, probably doing something you shouldn't. Not that I should say that. I'd like you guys to behave. But really, it's just fun, boisterous. The word banter, it's. With ag, again, I'm bursting with pride saying this, but the ag students that we teach are friends for life. They make those connections and they stay friends for life, and they jump in. And even to this day, you'll have people that studied 40 years ago at Brooksby and they still have their best friends from it. So your typical day in terms of academics, yes, they're there. You've got your classrooms, you've got your theories, but you've also got your friendship groups and your young farmers parties when they come back, and just sort of agriculture just encompasses everything. And it's really heartwarming to see when I walk around, seeing you guys, this ag students all having a bit of a laugh together and being a real group, and it's really heartwarming, and it's what makes me personally really proud to be an ag lecturer, that you guys are like that. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's real good day. You will laugh at some point in your day, it's almost guaranteed. I think with ag.
Lovely, thank you. One more question. What are the entry requirements for the courses?
Entry requirements, yeah, let's talk shop. So level 2 is 4 GCSEs at a D or a 3, so quite a low entry requirement. I'll sort of talk why that is. We recognise that a lot of ag students or potential ag students are practical, hands-on people that might not have necessarily suited that classroom environment at school and might not have done as well as what they're actually capable of doing. So level 2 brings you in at that. Yes, you will still have to resit those awful GCSEs, but again, it's in that supportive environment around people that you sort of are there with, and we're mucking in together. So for the facts, level 2 is 4 GCSEs at a D/3, which is new school. And then with the level 3s, it's 4 GCSEs at a C or a 4 or above. So 4 for level 3. Okay. So yeah, so we don't tend to take anyone on the resits. We do need those 4 GCSEs, and 1 being maths and 1 being English for that level 3, just because the academic side of those courses on level 3 is that much more testing for you. So you really do need to be only focusing on the academics of the agriculture course on the level 3. Saying that, on the level 2, you're doing a lot more practicals and you're also resitting your GCSE. So you've got that support network there, you're still learning ag, and you're still sort of progressing forward to that benchmark that we need you guys to be.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So sorry, I just saw a question. What links do we have with industry, and do we support with transitioning into employment at the end of courses?
Okay, so in terms of what links do we have with industry? Oh, Brooksby, again, probably because we've been around for so long, but amazing links with industry. As I say, most of the employers that provide the work experience placements were probably former students of Brooksby, or have maybe dated a former student of Brooksby, or have sons and daughters that study with Brooksby now. So in terms of links with industry, it's massive. We get guest speakers coming in quite a lot as well. We go out on trips to meet people as well, to meet farmers or to meet people working within that industry quite a lot as well. So you're starting to meet people through your college course, and you're networking and building those up yourself. We do support for the work experience placement. So we have a dedicated work experience team that will help you find a placement if you're not from a farming background, or if you're struggling to find something that you are sort of interested in within your locality. In terms of supporting you guys when you progress from college, again, your work experience placements more often than not do offer apprenticeships or full-time work because they've been so impressed with ag students in the past. That has happened. And we also support students in terms of progressing to universities. So if you're then wanting to study agriculture at, say, Harper or Cirencester or places like that, we do support that as well. So we'll help you in applying for university places, as well as helping you writing your CVs, writing your personal statements or your cover letters. So yeah, within the work experience module, we do build all of that in, so you're ready in, or you're ready to start your career in agriculture, or we can obviously help you progress into education that little bit further and going and having a good time at uni.
Fab, thank you. So it's quite a long question here, bear with me 1 second. Is the plant and soil module very similar to typical GCSE biology, in terms of like how it's taught, I suppose, or is it easier or harder? This person's really struggled with biology at school, so would they find themselves in the same position if they studied the plant and soil science module?
Good question. Okay, so to an element, there is an element of biology in there. There has to be, but the way the exam is worded and the way the module is taught, it very much relates to the field, to the crop walks that you will go on. So I'm not saying the exam paper looks the same as the GCSE exam paper. The questions are set out the same, but we support you on how to answer those, just like your teachers are now. But the questions that are asked, because you're going to be able to relate them to that practical environment, to that time in that class when we did that, it links back. It isn't as daunting. Because you can relate to your industry and to your interests and to those experiences, as opposed to GCSE when you're talking about something that you've just, why am I doing this, or how does that relate to my life now? I know, like maths and algebra, I've never touched algebra since, but you, with regards to those exam modules, you're relating things back to what you've already learned in experiences and within the industry. So it is still an exam, and it is still an element of biology. We can't escape that. But as I say, you will be able to relate more to why you're answering those questions and how they are relevant to the industry and what you're doing, which you, without even realising it, will be a support and will come more naturally to you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good question though, well done.
Yeah. Another really good question has come through. Would you say that the class environment at Brooksby is very different to a school environment? Is it slightly more relaxed and personal, so to suit different ways of learning? But yeah, so I would say definitely, but I'm going to hand it over to Meg to expand.
Yeah, just to summarise it in a word, definitely. But to explain it a little bit more, particularly in ag, you've got that friendship groups as well, and you've all got those natural interests, so you're already feeling a lot more comfortable around your peers. You always have your class clowns as well, so they've got that entertainment factor within the classroom. And you're thinking, right, but then we can leave that in terms of learning styles. I mean, we try everything, we do everything. You will have a couple of Kahoots chucked in. We do sort of team jobs, so sort of building a poster together. We do individual research tasks, and really the best thing, again, as teachers, we're teaching, but we're also always learning. So if you have a learning style, or you did something at school and you really enjoyed that, tell us and we can build that in. Again, agriculture is so diverse that teaching you a topic on like sheep breeds, there's so many different ways we can do it. So again, sort of talking to us guys in the classrooms as well in that relaxed environment means that we can build that course and help you in learning it, and it's sitting in your brains and not just sort of going in one ear and out the other. The environment of the classrooms, with the facilities being relatively new, and they were obviously designed by some clever chaps, they're quite airy, they're quite light, they're quite spacious. They're quite, you know, the wheelie chairs in the computer room are very popular with ag students, so that it's a comfortable environment. It's, you know, as even more now than ever, the facilities are always quite clean. Our cleaners are amazing, so it's a really nice environment there, and you sort of become, we do link with the other land-based courses. You're kicking around with the countrysiders, you're kicking around with the Hawks, so you've got that community within that building of Jutland, and again it makes everyone feel a lot more at ease. I must admit, when I was at school, I found that situation quite intimidating, and I know I'm a teacher now, but I walk around Jutland very comfortably, and you know, you don't mind bumping into people in corridors and saying hello. Obviously we don't at the moment with the old COVID job, I keep referring to that, but again, it's such a friendly environment. You feel at ease even before you step into that classroom. So yeah, no, it's great. It is good fun. Even as a teacher, I'd go and study back ag now. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. We kind of say that it feels like you're one of the family at BMC, because it really, really does. You know, no matter what campus you study at, it does feel like we're one big family. One thing I will say, just to add to that, is I know that people know that this is a difference between school and college, is that you are very much treated like an adult. So at school, sort of when you stay on for A levels, there is a tendency to be treated sort of more like a school child almost continually, but with college it's a completely new environment, new tutors who will treat you like an adult, and you will be responsible for getting your A in assignments in and all that kind of stuff. So if that sounds good to you, that element of independence.
Yeah.
Bring your pen, bring everything you need.
Yeah, no, I completely couldn't agree with Meg more. You are treated like an adult, but you are expected to act like one as well. So yeah, and you know, we're all on first name terms as well. It's not like miss or anything like that. So yeah, it's a lot more relaxed. And again, often you're building that rapport with your peers and your friends. You've got that sort of more mature environment, you know that you're going into that industry, so you're sort of starting to book your ideas up a little bit and sort of know, oh right, okay, and that's the best way to go about things. So yeah, it's a learning environment. You are treated like an adult, and it's a friendly environment as well.
Lovely, thank you. I've got a couple more questions. We're coming towards the end, but we'll answer as many questions as we can before we go. Someone has asked, Izzy has asked, you said that with the level 2 it's a 50-50 split between practical and theory. What kind of split is it for level 3?
More like a 60-40 split, so not that full 50-50. So it's a 60-40, so 60% sort of more theory-based sessions, and 40% out on the old practical jobs. Not to sort of them like the level 2s down, bless them. They are out on the farm the majority of the time, so they do a lot of the sort of the solid work. And us level 3s get to go in and sort of do the more sort of specific targeted jobs. So for example, if we were TB testing at the farm, the level 2s will be there setting up, bringing the cattle through, but the level 3s would be at the head end. They will be around the vet, they will be listening, they will be learning and doing that, and then the level 3s obviously have an understanding of what's going on, but there is more teaching going on for the level 3. So when you're out as a level 3 on the farm, you are more focused in on what that task is and why it is happening. As a level 2, you're sort of learning about the runnings of the farm and the day-to-day routines of the farm. So yeah, horses for courses, but the level 3s that have progressed from the level 2, they're loving life now because they've done that and now they've sort of progressed up. In terms of like the country shows and the fat stock shows, so we all get a different species. So level 3s last year got the fat lambs, level 2s got the pigs, and we produce those ourselves. So that's a sort of a course specific species. Get that one out. When we're out on the shows, on the country shows, again, as a team, we've created those, but the level 3s will be the ones in the show ring, and the level 2s can hopefully do that next year when they stick with us and progress through. So, yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Had a few more questions come through. Going to try and get through them. Someone said, what's the ratio of girls to boys like for the agriculture courses, and does it tend to be a lot more boys than girls?
50-50 split for boys and girls. Quite easy. I think if you'd have looked like back in the history books, it might have been all boys years ago, but no, it's 50-50. The girls bring, as you can imagine, different elements to the class. They sort of a lot more organised as a rule, and then attention to detail as well. As there are research that shows that girls on farms rear stock better, are actually better at welding. Not that you'd ever tell the boys that, but yeah, having that 50-50 split of boys and girls now. And the girls, again, they make friendships for life, as do the boys, and the bantering back and forth as well. And so yeah, again, you don't just think, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do that. It's you're expected to do it, just like the boys are.
Fab, thank you. Isaac has asked, as part of the livestock module in level 2, do you do anything around dairy?
We touch on production systems, it's known as. So on the level 2 livestock, you're sort of learning the production systems. So from lamb to fishing, and then again from cow, calf through lactation. So you touch on everything, and then as you progress to level 3 into the livestock husbandry unit, you then focus in on those areas a lot more and in a lot more detail. So yes, you will sort of see it and understand it, but then, as I say, in level 3 you almost be able to like explain it and sort of demonstrate it as well.
Fab, thank you very much. Sorry, I did just see another question, and now I've lost it. Oh, what crops do we currently grow at Brooksby?
Oh yeah, that's on the old agroforestry. So right, what we grow, cereals mainly. We this side Brooksby sort of split, so to speak. So we've got over the road as well. So over the road we've got wheat and barley and oats in at the moment, and then around the campus it is all grassland. We have got a new little project, I say little, it's a pretty big project, a new project going on called agroforestry. So there is a herbal ley going in there, so grass with different sort of species within that. And then we are in the early stages of putting that in, so students will see that growing and seeing that develop. So yeah, on terms of the machinery side of it as well, just touching on that from the cereal side and the arable, you will all be able to leave Brooksby able to drive a tractor without a doubt. On the level 2, you'll know the health and safety and the starting procedures, the equipment and things like that. On the level 3, you'll know basic servicing, basic repairs as well, for those that have hit the gatepost, and you've got that understanding. And we do have our own student field as well as the agroforestry. We have got our own student field where the students are expected to sort of do that, cultivate it and things. They have, luckily, going by the weather today, they have just finished ploughing, and if it was a bit drier they'd be out subsoiling that, breaking that down. So the students are sort of in and amongst that, and that is their field for sort of really practicing and getting it right or getting it wrong. We allow for that.
I think, oh, I don't want to send myself live. I think that's all the questions we've got today. I think I've managed to answer them all, or Alex has been typing out some answers in the chat as well. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you so much to Meg as well for providing the answers to all of your questions. If you are interested in applying, I will pop the application link in the chat so it's easy to find for you. Bear with me 1 second. So yeah, we are taking applications now. As soon as you send your application off, we'll be in touch to arrange an interview, and hopefully you'll meet Meg again at your interview or when you join us in September. So thank you very much, everyone.
Have a good day.
Have a nice weekend.